The New South Wales Government Railways Class AD60 was a fleet of 484 plus 484 Garrett type steam locomotives that were built by Bear, Peacock and Company of Manchester between 1952 and 1954 and 1956 for the New South Wales Government Railways and/or the Department of Railways of New South Wales. They were the only Garrett designs of the New South Wales Government Railways, as they were designed with an actual load of 16 long tons, and they were intended to haul feeder branch line services to the main lines where heavier mainline locomotives can continue with the load. 25 of these designs would be built by Bear, Peacock and Company, alongside a further 25 more. However, due to a policy in favoring diesel locomotives, only 42 ever really made it to be complete, while the rest were either unfinished and/or were cancelled outright. They were the most powerful locomotives to ever operate in Australia, but behind the D57's in tractive effort. However, they weren't the largest to be built domestically. That honor would have to go to the Victorian Railways' H-Class, a single 484 Northern type built by Newport Works in 1941 and was numbered H220 and was nicknamed Heavy Harry. The AD60s were intended to operate on the Main North, Main South, and later Main Western lines as far as Double and Parks, due to their light axle load, as they could be cleared to operate on the Crockwell, Captain Flats, Temora, Havey and Narrandera, and even the Burker lines of the New South Wales railway system. A typical working of an AD60 would include all bulk exports of coal and general goods movements, as well as the W44 concentrate train, a service which ran from Broken Hill towards Newcastle, giving as which they were considered as heavy goods engines for the New South Wales railway system. A few of these locomotives had been withdrawn from service due to accident damage. However, it wasn't until the dieselization era of the New South Wales railway system that the AD60s would begin to be withdrawn, and by 1973, all of them had been withdrawn from service. AD60 number 6042 was withdrawn in February of 1973 and was selected to pull the ceremonial last steam train from Newcastle to Broadmeadow on the 2nd of March, 1973. Where it's ceremoniously driven through a celebratory banner by Transport Minister Milton Morris. After this, 6042 would be available for enthusiast rail tours for the time being, until being condoned in December of 1974 by the Public Transport Commission, the successor of the Department of Railways of New South Wales. As of today, 6042 is currently outside of Forbes in New South Wales, awaiting a restoration from the Dorgo Steam Railway and Museum. However, due to the elements outside and the locomotive essentially being there in an open field, it is unlikely that the locomotive will ever run again. However, it would be cosmetically restored for aesthetic display purposes instead of a mainline running locomotive. As of today, only 4 of the AD60s are currently with us to this day, with 6029 being the only AD60 to ever operate on the New South Wales railway system, currently under the hands of the New South Wales Railway Museum at Thelmere and/or Transport Heritage of New South Wales. The AD60s, although not really being the largest engines to operate in Australia domestically, and their tractive effort not being as powerful as that of the D57s, would continue to show their dominance as a heavy goods engine, as they would be seen pulling goods trains across the New South Wales railway system and pulling road tours for enthusiasts in the modern day. And they will continue to show their worth across the New South Wales railway system as of today, thanks to the preservation efforts to save the 4 AD60s that are currently with us to this day. And the legacy of the AD60s is still standing with us to this very day.